they have to draft a new constitution for Nigeria. The one that actually comes that you will say a memorandum from the people themselves. Now, in that same new, your new constitution that they will draft, once they begin that, then you can now call for national dialogue or national conference, whatever you want to call it. Don't leave the outside, though. 40 million of you or 20 million people, right? Days, weeks, months, they can fund it. And around that time, within that same struggle, let people elected, those who are going to go to the national conference, and then go debate what should be inside that constitution. Inside it is where we are going to decide what type of government should exist and how the entire Nigeria, those who still want to be part of it, under what condition and what approved condition. I'm saying, let everybody kind of agree they still want to be part of this contraption. Under what arrangement? Now, under that arrangement, you can now produce a national constitution, the first of its kind, which will state out how elections should be conducted, who should be in charge, how people should emerge, all those things, and from where to where. Now, you see that 40 million, you can shut down Nigeria for the next 6 months. You will get all of this done. Then I'll begin to take them serious. Or is that too much? That cannot happen. And you can continue to deceive yourselves. They will play you. They will use you. And I will be here to cover it all. So what they are doing right now is that Saraki, Sule Lamido, the thief that stole Jigawa, Sule Jigawa, that looted Jigawa so much that his own children are standing trial for corruption right now. And they've been standing for it since he left office years ago. At a point, Obasanjo was going to make him president. That was what destroyed PDP. In case if you don't know, Sule Lamido, he was the Obasanjo's anointed candidate for 2015, where it was said Goodluck Ebele Jonathan only agreed to do 1 term, to complete Yar'Adua's term, and the power will go back to northern Nigeria. So that was the plan, but Jonathan reneged. Jonathan wanted to go for 2nd term. Obasanjo was pissed off. Sule Lamido, who was being groomed to be the candidate of PDP, was never going to be a candidate or president. Obasanjo tore his PDP membership card, opened his door for Bokwari, Tifnumbu, and the rest of the jihadists and then other criminals to walk in, hoping that he could use them to remain somehow relevant politically, a godfather, where he wrote a letter before it's too late to Jonathan. Change your mind now. Don't contest. Give the ticket to Lamido, or else forget about it. The rest is history today, but that's actually how it all happened. In 2023, the same Sule Lamido was one of those who said, if Peter Obi gets 1 million votes, he was going to go to exile. But the guy no go exile now. Okay? So you see them in the video where they are like, it's like, oh, thank God is here. So that you saw Obi with Atiku is because the likes of Patrick Tommy and others, they are trying to create what they call a new tribe, bringing together all these heavyweights, hoping that they will be good enough to take out the Fnumbu in 2027. And they are going to take you on that ride. But on which political party? That's another question, Abi.
Okay, so we're ready. Okay, my brother. Where's Commissioner?
So the next question is, which political, some are saying that they are asking Obi to come back to PDP. No. You are not listening. There is no PDP. You see, the idea these guys are bringing together that they believe is going to be easily sold to you, the obedient, especially. is that you will rather see Obi and other guys appear on a neutral platform that they can call mega something, mega this, mega that. Give it a new image, all right? They believe that that will be easily sold to you than for Peter Obi to be in PDP. The second thing is this. There were also this idea of, no, I mean, the obedient won't even listen to you. No matter whatever Obi himself is getting himself involved in, right? They won't even listen to you if Obi is not going to be the presidential candidate. So which simply means some of you are actually preparing that you will participate in their elections, Abi. Anyway, I've said my own. Now let me come back to your world and exactly what they are doing right now. Because my own solution is probably ordinary imagination that can never happen. They will never do that, Abi. No, they won't. They won't, they won't mobilize you to face them. Fight enough to have a little bit credible platform to run an election. The entire institutions in Nigeria have been compromised, from the police to the INEC, to the military, to the judiciary, all of them. So no amount of your bringing yourselves together is in any way going to change anything. So also, PDP is controlled by Tifnumbu with the oath that Wike has on it. And every effort to try to untangle Wike's hand on PDP has failed. The person who is the acting chairman of PDP right now is a Wike's appointee. They can't take him out. They can't do a new Congress or so. Most of the state governors in Nigeria, through Wike, they are loyal, not to PDP, but to Tifnumbu and APC. And rightly so, for their own, to maintain their own political capital. They can continue to fly your flag of this sort. So definitely, their plan is not PDP, just so you know. Okay? And their plan is to fly a new political party before the end of this year. A new political party, which is going to be glorified and honored by the decampment of those in PDP and those in APC. I'm sorry, those in PDP and those in Labour Party. They want to make it look more like this is a rescue team. It's different from the rest. But it is not. It is a package that they are putting together right now to lead you into another destruction. Take it from me. But anyway, the plan is that the moment all ideas and all that is sort of packaged enough, money mobilized, there will be a declaration that is going to possibly be the next talk. So PDP is gone. Labour Party is being threatened every now and then by corruption, as well as the Lamidiot Apampas and the rest of them. So a lot of you, the obedient, have publicly said, your political party is Obi, wherever he goes, you go. Now here is my advice for you. I have actually said this to the Abobakus themselves before. This was about like 8, 9, 10 years ago, where majority of them were, to some extent, believing that the likes of those who destroyed Nigeria, they were coming together to rescue them. So it doesn't matter what they have done. It doesn't even matter what they are doing. As long as the person who is there right now is gone. Now that is your vulnerable moment. The people you want gone, they will end up in the same ship you are building. The entire system has to go. And that is why I kind of proposed what I proposed. By proposing that, number one, the desperation to want to be the president of Nigeria would die. Then also, the idea of trying to come and control any part of Nigeria from wherever you come from will also die. Now, people can actually control their own affairs. And their same constitution that I'm saying that can be produced from this process, right? That same new constitution will make it easier for you to actually organize your own referendum in a democratic setting. Now, but it's going to be a long shot. The owners of Nigerians, or let me say all these one Nigerianists, they do not really hate what Nigeria is. Majority of them just don't like the fact that they are out of those, they're out of the space of those who are doing this to you. So if anybody knows that the way this Nigeria is against all of us, a new system that is kind of built by the people themselves is urgently required. If anyone believes that they can build a better country in this rotten system, they want to dupe you, and they will do it again and again and again. And that's what these guys are up to. But because of the kind of people they are dealing with, and because of my own understanding of their political, their political landscape and all that, I just say one thing. And that's one thing that I wish will happen at the end of the day. It is for Tifnumbu to double down. And this, your alliance or coalition, is trounced enough that you won't be able to take the rigging. And maybe that can trigger something that you can now possibly say at this point, the entire system has to go. But apart from that, if they put themselves together and they take a Tifnumbu and APC out, what they have taken out is just the ones that are doing it to you now, like they did to Jonathan, okay? To pave way for the one that will do even worse. Because it is not just them, it is that rotten system. Because see, as you have a Tifnumbu in Abuja and the rest of all the rogues with him, you have you have another 36 of Tifnumbu scattered all over the entire contraption, doing exactly the same thing at a small scale there. The system has to go. It must be crumbled. It must be destroyed. Any coalition that is not after that, for thinking they could pull forces and then let the best rigger win in a system that is so rigged and corrupt beyond just who is your president alone, including who is actually your counselor. So the entire system has to go. It has to die. Anyone planning any recovery or any rescue mission on this rotten system is a fraudster. And I warn you, I warn. Okay? So let's go to the next one. The next one now is that of the River States, where Wike is also featuring. Yeah, Fubara, the stooge governor of Rivers, who has now told all of us that the jungle has matured. The jungle don't mature. That's what he said. That wherever Wike thought, whoever Wike thinks he is, right, it will be put to his size. And a lot of people have a lot to say about him, though. Okay, so he now called Wike, Baba, Garri-Eatin-Rat. Garri-Eatin-Rat. So Wike is a big or a giant Garri-Eatin-Rat. According to Fubara, Fubara said Wike is using his position as a federal minister after cornering all of the federal appointments due to Rivers people or Rivers states. He cornered them to himself. He had it among his loyalists that Wike continued to use that same office to deny Rivers States, to deny Rivers State the support of the federal government. He said it. So according to him, he said, the federal government of Nigeria under Tifnumbu is not fighting them, but a Garri-Eatin-Rat, Wike. I'll show you that, okay? But let's introduce that to you first. It all started there from yesterday when Fubara told us that the jungle has matured, and he removed the Attorney General and the Commissioner of Justice of Rivers State, which was nominated or appointed by Wike. as a former governor. So when Fubara removed him, he replaced him with another one, and then he now gave the new one a marching order to begin the probe of Wike's inglorious tenure. And according to Sim Fubara, he said, you see all those commissioning, all those videos of this and that, majority of them, they were commissioned on unpaid debt. So most of those contractors have not been paid. Others, most of the jobs have not been completed. But Wike still took cameramen and people and then musicians down there. Anyway, I will take you to Rivers State for the third day running. Every day, I thought we are all prepared for this, okay? So let's go to the rivers. But first, what happened from yesterday? An IT report.
Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara presiding over the swearing-in of Danagogo Iboroma into his cabinet. The event is coming a few hours after Iboroma was screened and confirmed by the Victor Oko-Jumbo-led State House of Assembly. The senior advocate of Nigeria replaces Professor Zaccheaus Adango, who resigned as the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice after he rejected his deployment to the Ministry of Special Duties, Governor's Office.
I'm happy that you're already a son before coming in. It means that you must have been a thorough man. It's not the one that while you're here, they now pay money to give you son. When you become the son, the only thing you do is to sabotage government. Instead of you to close your mouth, you go publicly to tell people that you're the chief law officer. Chief law officer, you were here, you went to stand before a magistrate court. At that time, you didn't remember that you were chief law officer, going against the ethics of your job. Shame to you, wherever you are. Like I said, you will get your reward, not in this world, in this world.
Governor Fubara wants the new Attorney General to defend the interests of Rivers State at all times, even as he informs him of the big task ahead.
In the local palace, they said the jungle has matured. We will be setting a panel of inquiry to investigate the affair of governance. Brace up. I'm not going back on it. Any man who cocks a gun, shoots it, and maybe because of the gun is in safety, the bullet didn't come out, has already. So if we have a way to bury that person or the group of person, bury them.
The River State governor also speaks on why there has not been any resolution to the political disagreement in the state.
It has become very clear that this disagreement, there is no headway to it. And for a lot of reasons, there are very, very visible evidence that there is sabotage, deliberate attempt to sabotage this administration. For that reason, we have to move forward. And moving forward, if it means taking decisions that is going to hurt anybody.
Not deterred, Governor Fubara says he intends to leave office with a good name.
Even if it's a mistake, by the special grace of God, I'm here today. God doesn't make mistake. And let me also appeal to them. Let them continue to make mistake. So that I'll continue to be where I am. Finish what I want to do for you people. Live with a good name. And my children and my great-grandchildren will be proud of me. That is the mistake.
So that's the Fubara. And that was yesterday. And which also prompted a lot of reactions, including the reaction of Fubara himself, calling Wike Garri-Eatin-Rat. We are going to get to that part. But how many of you remember the time when Devil Lumai called Wike illiterate? That was just stealing public funds. And he's proud to say that in public. How many of you remember that? Raise up your hand. I have the video.
Be the one telling me. You heard him in a channel, boasting that he's behind a main man that depends on the breath of God. I pity illiteracy. Say shame. You are boasting to remove another governor. What qualifies you just because you are packing money that is public fund? Not, intellectual material, but just packing money from public funds and you are boasting about it. Otherwise, whom were you? I became a billionaire at the age of 25. I've worked all my life. And I've asked him to come for public debate. I do not commission 3.4 kilometer road. I commission 35 kilometer roads. I commission twin flyovers running to 1 kilometer. I commission mega projects with little resources. So if he says he has done well and there is Mr. This or that, let him come for public debate with me.
Tiagasa? Tiagasa? The gas. Well, that was Devil Mai. But that one is just a bit of, sort of a brag, ego, and emptiness all mixed in one. Because they are now together as ministers of Tiknumbu. Okay? But when it comes to Garri-Eatin-Rat, he has a different description of Wike. Do y'all remember this too?
My primary business is other people's businesses. If I open my can of worms and maggots on Wike, but I'm waiting for him. His territory that he's trying to practice is my own primary constituency, and I'm waiting for him. He's a pretentious character. He's a liar. And he has no integrity, no iota of integrity. Wike was calling me when Atiku Abubakar was to announce his running mates. I have record.
He said more. But because this is going to be so interesting, if you are watching it like a full package. So that's why I'm putting these clips in one after the other. Okay? Still talking about Wike. Do you know who they are talking about? This man.
To relent.
That's why I said don't touch River State. The day you touch River State, you will begin to have problems. I have no doubt. All those who are scheming against River State, just watch how they will be having problems.
When I hear people declaring for APC, saying that they want to continue the good job of Mr. President, the good job of people dying every day, the good job of Naira falling every day, I feel so ashamed that we have gotten to the level where sacrificing, people will come and say, look, I want to continue the good job of Buhari. What is the good job of Buhari? Of hunger is a good job, of poverty is a good job, of insecurity is a good job, of the economy falling is a good job. It's such a shameful thing. Only one person can be a minister from a state. I will not be a minister. I will not. I will not. I'm not a liability. So everybody will have to be careful. You give somebody an umbrella, the next day he defects. I will never leave PDP. I will never disappoint PDP. If I disappoint PDP, I will never have peace in my life. To relent.
So that's the man they are talking about. Okay? With a Wike. And he's pretty much like a madman indeed. But to him, it is politics of survival. Man must survive. And right now, it seems that the entire, not just the Rivers people, it's like the entire world want to see him so dragged. Like a tiger generator. And according to Garri-Eatin-Rat, describing Wike, the video you were watching earlier. Let's finish it. Take it again, Dino.
My primary business is other people's businesses. If I open my can of worms and maggots on Wike, but I'm waiting for him. His territory that he's trying to practice is my own primary constituency, and I'm waiting for him. He's a pretentious character. He's a liar, and he has no integrity, no iota of integrity. Wike was calling me when Atiku Abubakar was to announce his running mates. I have records, and I've printed it out, and I'm waiting for him. He called me 19 times in 2 hours, begging us to convince Atiku Abubakar to make him the vice presidential candidate. So when I see him lying on TV, Because of the south of this country, because of southern Nigeria, the regime moves to south. You that were lobbying us and begging us, promising us heaven and earth to convince Atiku Abubakar to make you vice presidential candidate. To the extent that he was at the airport. I have a video. He spent hours in the airport waiting for me to call him to say, Atiku, I've picked you as a... He was at the airport here, waiting, calling me. He was calling me, my brother and friend, who is were in the Senate together, was also calling me that day. I have witnesses. I even gave the phone to Abdul Ningi to speak with him. I gave the phone to Senator Zameri to speak with him. He was begging all of us, promising heaven and earth. Atiku should announce him. It was around 1 or so that I told him, Oga, nobody will give you vice president. That was when he left and then flew back to... So the man who was so desperate to be vice president, because you didn't get it, you now started a southern agenda. I don't believe in such unprincipled, zero integrity character like Nyesom Wike. The man, Wike was the one who brought Ayu. Wike was the one who sponsored Ayu. And that was why Wike made all the governors to endorse Ayu. That's why there was no election in the national chairman's office during the convention. Ayu was unopposed. Now you are saying Ayu must go, you want to go to the south. Maybe because of the alcohol he took. Maybe he thought Ayu is from Abia State when he was supporting him. Because Ayu is from the north. You are the one that brought Ayu. When did you now realize that Ayu is a northerner? But he was doing that time to satisfy his own selfish ambition of becoming the presidential candidate from the south. So he doesn't want the chairmanship at that time to go to the south so that it will not affect his ambition of becoming president from the south. So he pushed the chairmanship to the north and thinking he will be able to bribe Ayu to produce him as the presidential candidate. When Ayu refused to do the wrong thing, then Ayu became an enemy. Is it not the same Wike that removed his brother, his mentor, Prince Uche Secondus, as the national chairman of the party? If you love the South so much, why did you remove a southerner to bring a northerner? Today you are saying chairmanship must go to the south. Was the chairmanship not in the south? Was it not you, Wike, who went to court, who did everything, expelled him from his ward? So a character who is not stable like that, who is influenced by alcohol and other things I don't know, should not be taken seriously. My
of our grading leaders. Oh, Tonja, where are you? This is the time you are supposed to strike, so that you eliminate all of them, so that you have peace in our nation. We'll join them in one aeroplane, so that it will crash land in the course of their journey. Furthermore, our security agents, i.e., the police and of our grading.
So where the Wike is sort of